Good morning and welcome to Sunday Morning Beers. Possibly. We've had like a camera conundrum, and you probably don't know what's been going on. I just know that the show hasn't been on, and there's 32 people in the world missing us. But what happened was we lost the camera that we had, lost at sea, and so bought this camera.
Doug lost the camera, not we.
Bought this camera here and couldn't figure out how to upload videos to YouTube. It was saying it was in some sort of a weird format, so we did an episode with this camera, and it's a pretty decent camera. It's almost as good as the other one, I think. And then so that was like the lost episode. Mm-hmm. But now we think we figured it out. And we'll see. But we did buy another one of the camera that was lost, and that doesn't work either. So we got all these cameras, can't take them back.
Anybody want a camera?
Yeah, we got cameras.
We got two new cameras.
See. If this works, then Sunday Morning Beers is back.
If not,
so then you just probably never see us again.
We're doing this for...
And then we're stuck with a couple expensive cameras that we'll never use because we don't use them for anything else.
Right, we're doing this in vain if it doesn't work.
Yep. So let's get started with a beer. Pretty exciting because you haven't seen us drink a beer for a while.
Woo! They haven't seen us drink a beer.
Yeah. So we have drank actually a lot of beers since then, and we really wanted to do an episode last week because it was the Brewers Guild Festival, the Michigan Brewers Guild Summer Festival. Lots of excitement there. Would have been great if we could have done an episode there, but maybe next week because we got something exciting. We'll talk about that going on next week. So what we have here, this is from Dogfish Head. Been wanting to try this for a little while. This is 61. Dogfish Head 61. What this is Dogfish Head 60, which is a continuously hopped IPA, continuously hopped for 60 minutes. I think it's their best seller. I think it's their best seller. And so what they did apparently, occasionally when they would get together and drink, because Sam Calgione, he likes red wine, he would mix the red wine with Dogfish Head 60 minute IPA. And so what they decided to do was actually brew it. Of course, 4th Street Brewery, we've been doing that kind of stuff for a long time, experimenting with the grapes and grains fermented together. And now other people have picked it up, and of course, Dogfish Head copied my idea. So they're using... What? What's the matter?
I know, it's just funny.
They did. So it's Syrah grape juice, which is a red grape juice. So it's kind of interesting because I would have went probably with a white grape for an IPA. Interesting that it went with that 6.5% ABV.
Speaking of grapes, have you seen our grapes?
Here we got some grapes.
They're
from back
purple.
Here. This has been sitting here for a while, and you see it's got a nice head on it still. Mm-hmm. It is definitely a reddish color.
Smells sweet.
Yeah, smells sweet. I got a bit of a cold, so my nose could be up a bit.
Yeah, Doug's giving it to me.
I smell citrusy hops.
Oh yeah. It's tart. It's hoppy and tart.
It is tart. Very dry.
Mm-hmm.
Fruity. It is fruity.
That's good. Refreshing.
It is very refreshing. That's good. I don't know how much that was. I think it was kind of expensive. It was it was $2.99 a bottle. It's definitely not cheap for a beer that only has 6.5%. If it was cheaper, I would probably buy this quite a bit. I think it's very good.
How much is a beer at a bar?
Well, it's at a store. It should be cheaper. Okay. It should be a little bit cheaper than $3 a bottle.
Oh, is it $2.99? Yeah, I guess. I thought it was $2.49.
But I would definitely try it for $3.
Oh yeah,
definitely
for sure.
Would try it. I think it's
I think
tasty.
you'll be pleased with the money you spent.
Yeah, it's good. It's hoppy and fruity, but not too much of either one.
No.
Kind of just enough to keep it nice and refreshing. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about what we've got going on next week. Last week we had the festival. It was our first time going to the Michigan Brewers Guild Festival in 5 years. Was it worth going? I don't know. There's so many breweries there. You kind of lost in the crowd. We did go through a fair amount of beer. There wasn't a lot of lines really at anyone. We were right next to Founders, which I cringed about the fact that we were hidden behind a tree and between Founders and Bell's. I mean, you're pretty much buried. You're behind a tree and
the tree wasn't that big.
It was a pretty big tree. But it was funny to watch people hit their heads continuously on the branches of it as they came under the tent. But Founders, they never had a line.
And Bell's wasn't that busy either. They were around the corner from us.
No, yeah, Founders, I never saw a line there. So I guess it's just a lot. There's too many options. I think
there were a lot of new breweries there, like Griffin Pod.
was it worth it to go? I would go if we had more spare time. His problem is just not, it was just a sleepless weekend to go. So I think the decision is it worth giving up a day off and having a sleepless weekend? Maybe one new person tries your beer and says, hey, I'm going to drive all the way to Lincoln Park. I don't know. It's possible. There was somebody there from Wyandotte, which, most of our customers come from Wyandotte, and they never heard of us.
Mm-mm.
So
Sheltered lives.
Yes, there are people that really tune themselves out to what goes on in the rest of the
They're
world.
on Facebook with their friends all the time.
Yeah.
So they don't know what's going on in
And
anything.
they don't see the news feed.
Yeah, they don't even know what news is.
So, anyways, what we got going on next week is much more exciting than that because we're going to a beer festival, but we're not serving beer there. So it's a non-working
It's
festival
our
trip.
little
The only work of it
vacation.
is it's a far drive.
Yeah.
Because most of the trip will actually be spent driving. We're driving out to Madison, Wisconsin for the Great Taste of the Midwest. The hardest ticket to get for any beer festival anywhere. Almost impossible. Fortunately, we got a connection, thanks Kelly, getting us tickets every year. And it's just a good time because there's no tickets. You buy the ticket to get in there, and that's it. Then you have this glass that they give you, and you just drink as much as you want. It's kind of short. It's like 5-6 hours, and it's just a good time. It's in a beautiful, beautiful spot. It's right overlooking the isthmus, the two lakes there in Madison, Wisconsin, and you can see the Capitol.
And you got buses taking you there and back.
Yeah.
So you don't have to drive.
Cannot beat that deal.
No.
It's a great festival, and we're really excited about going. Pretty much always good weather for that festival.
Yeah, for the most
Sometimes kind of hot, but it's a day off. What can you say about that? And we're gonna have a good time.
We take our chairs, we
And,
sit under the
yep.
trees.
Yep.
It's lovely.
It's very good times. We're very excited about that. We'll be leaving Friday.
Cask Ale
And,
tent, the real ale tent, is that what they call the real ale tent?
And lots of beers to try. There are lots of fun stuff going on. So that's what's going on. So next week, if we do an episode, hopefully this will work out and this episode will air. If we do an episode next week, it'll show not Sunday, probably like Tuesday or something, because we might film something from the festival.
That's
could be pretty
on
exciting.
location.
Yeah, you can see what goes on there. So something to look forward to for you, something to look forward to for us.
And don't forget what's coming up.
Brouhaha, just around the corner. We'll talk about that in the next episode for sure. Very exciting things going on with that. So there you have it. Cheers, everyone. We'll see you this week at 4th Street Brewery. Have a good week.